What's up? This is Nick, Commissioner of the Pokemon Battle League, and tonight we are doing our first installment of the Pokemon Battle Network, as you can see, which will be our official Sports Center-like thing for the PBL season. So tonight I have a guest with me. It is going to be the coach of one of our teams, one of the fabulous teams, the Victory Road Victini. And here he is now. It is Zach. Here you are, my boy.
Yo, what's up? This is Zach, local Ian stand-in.
Yeah. Yeah, he's apparently busy or something tonight.
Too busy for the PBL. Interesting.
Shame on him. Shame on him, I must say.
So what's up? Let's go.
We're gonna talk about our week 1 battle since we don't have any stats or anything to cover, no previous battles to cover just yet. We're just gonna cover these first week battles. So our first battle for the week is the Weedles versus the Politoads. So the Safari Zone Weedles versus the Weather Institute Politoads are our teams for that match. So how are you feeling about this matchup? We've got some a Mega Beedrill. We got some speed and weather versus some weather. It's rain and sand versus rain.
It's rain v rain. And to me, I don't really know how to feel about the matchup right now. I do see Dan has a lot more experience using rain.
Yes, because it's all he uses.
It is all he uses.
He's so used to it.
But my only question for him is, what is his Dracovish answer?
Yeah,
it could be Ferrothorn. It could be Celebi.
It could be Politoed. Doesn't that get water absorbed?
But then he doesn't bring Drizzle for the rest of his rain team.
But it could be an answer.
He's got to work around. Yeah, I mean, it could. Maybe he relies on Cheryl bringing the rain for him, and Cheryl just doesn't bring the rain.
Yeah, she brings sand, and then there it goes. But, I mean, you do have the Ferrothorn. Ferrothorn could be a counter, as long as it's not, like, choice-banded Dracovish. Because that's, what, 2 hits? 2-hit KO right there?
Yeah. It might be a 3. It might hold on with a 3.
Okay.
Which is one of the things I don't really like about answers like Ferrothorn or Rotom Wash. Like, they are some of the most prominent answers on ladder, but
they still can't take too many hits.
Yeah,
you can just chunk them down.
Cheryl can just play around chipping those. Yeah, until I mean, especially Rotom Wash. Ferrothorn can at least maybe get some leech seeds off and recover a little more.
And he can do Iron Barb's Rocky Helmet if you really want to punish him punish whoever's attacking him.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely could.
That's
I do like Cheryl's team a lot. I think with 10 teams, every team had the opportunity to be stacked, basically.
Yeah, there was a lot of stuff left on the table that did not get drafted.
So Cheryl, I feel like Cheryl's just like, I guess I'll just take this. She ended up with the Gigalith, the Gigalith Excadrill core. She could have a fairly decent Rain core with Pelipper, Ludicolo, Dracovish.
Absolutely.
She's got the Orbeetle for speed control as well. Mega Beedrill's stupid fast.
Oh yeah, 145. Boy, zooming. Boy is zooming for sure.
So she's got a solid team. What I'm most interested in is what she values bringing into Dan's team. Because
does she counter his rain with her sand, or does she lean into the rain with her own rain?
Exactly.
Because looking at it, Mega Swampert is his big rain sweeper, and she has Ludicolo, who is resistant to the ground, takes quarter damage from the water, takes normal damage from maybe an Ice Punch or a Power-Up Punch, like common things that Mega Swampert's going to run. Ludicolo just doesn't care, and then it can just slap back with its own stab grass moves. So... But then at the same time, he has Tornadus, he has Zapdos, he has Noivern, he has other bird spam of Smogonbird. So there's definitely some threats for that Ludicolo on his team.
I know personally, if I were Cheryl, I would look into ways to get the Sand Core in. I know it's really hard to bring a Sand Core against a Water Core, but I know Cheryl's crafty, and if there was a way that she wanted to do it, I'm sure she could.
Yeah, she's
but
definitely
maybe
got
she'll
ways.
just lean into the rain.
But then,
how are we doing this? Are we making predictions about these matches, or?
I think it might be a little too early for predictions, but if you've got a hot prediction you want to throw out there, feel free.
No, I was asking because I don't have a hot prediction. This one is just so neck and neck for me because I view Cheryl as a very, very good battler.
Mm-hmm.
And I view Dan as someone who has used the same exact team for like 2.5 seasons in a row or something.
I think you're right.
So it's experience. It's like experience versus talent. What's going to win?
Yeah.
So we'll see.
It should be interesting to see how it goes. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how the Weather Wars go in this week 1 battle against the two of them. All right. And moving on, our next battle will be the Victory Road. They are Mount Silver Larvatars, sorry, versus the Olivine City Ampharos, a bit of a throwback team.
Yeah.
So we've got the press attack to win Mega Lopunny coming from the Larvatars, and then the Ampharos with their Mega Gardevoir is their big megas.
Yeah, this is a match I actually looked into more.
Yeah.
Than the Weather Wars.
Yeah. Unsurprisingly,
because these are my boys. This is Isaiah and Raul. These are my boys.
These are indeed your boys.
They often talk to me to bounce ideas off of me for their matches and stuff. And this is actually a really interesting matchup. Obviously, Isaiah's team is dummy fast.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got significant
yeah,
speed all over there. He's 135 Mega Lopunny, I think it is.
Yeah, he's got 143, 142, 135, 110, 95. Like he's fast.
Oh yeah, lots of speed.
With that being said, though, Raul's team's no slouch for speed. He's got 119, 106, 105, 102, 2 100s.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's got a lot.
And then he's also got Ditto for just the copy paste of, oh, you have speed, I have your speed plus 50%.
Right. Yeah. So that actually is leading into one of the points I have for this match. Isaiah and Raul both bad about disclosing anything.
Yes.
Isaiah needs to break that Galarian Corsola.
Oh yes, absolutely.
And Raul has done his research. He said it all over the place that Isaiah only has one knockoff user, and that's Zeraora.
Oh,
so knocking off the Eviolite.
I did not notice that, but absolutely.
Yeah, so knocking off that Eviolite is difficult, and you could try to set up and break, but do you want to set up when Raul has a Ditto on his roster?
Yeah, that's one of those things is you've got to be afraid of. You've always got to be afraid of that Ditto with setup. You have to be very cautious, or fake it out, kill it, do something to get rid of the Ditto first. But if the team with it kind of just holds onto it until the bitter end, what can you really do?
So yeah, I think that's something Raul may not have even realized with Galarian Corsola. If a team doesn't have knockoff, they're gonna have to really set it up to kind of take it out, or they're gonna have to do something really crafty.
Maybe get a Toxic on it and trap it from leaving. Something like that.
Maybe if you pull something off. I think it really is going to come down to Raul. I think playing Corsola poorly for a turn or two, or Isaiah getting really crafty about how he's going to handle that thing.
Because and then other things. It's not just just kill Galarian Corsola. There's also Empoleon, who can be hard to break through. Gourgeist, who can be hard to break through. Mew, depending on how it's built, can be hard to break through. And then he's got fast and strong attackers, so you've got to. It's not just kill these one or two things and it's game over. It's you have to kill those as well as make sure you're not getting beat up by the physical attack as well, or the physical and special attack.
Right, and I just noted those because those are ones that will require particular attention from Isaiah,
of course,
if he wants to beat them. Obviously, Mew is a problem. Savali can be a problem if you don't know what type is coming. That boy Cinderace.
Yes, Cinderace.
Up top.
You can't just set down some hazards and then be like, yeah, we're all good, because they can just be switched back on you. And there's little you can do about it.
Another way, it's honestly covers another thing that covers Galarian Corsola really well, because Isaiah could try to set Toxic Spikes, and then Cinderace can just swap them back and say no thanks.
There's this should be an interesting match. There's some new tech. So like you've got the Cinderace, you've got Dragapult, you've got Galarian Corsola, like you've got some big players from Generation 8. coming into this with some other big players of previous generations like Garchomp and Zeraora and Megalopony, and just we get some big players in this match.
And I do really like Raul's, like, I guess what you would call them are like scarf options. With Mienshao, Garchomp, and Mew, all possible scarfers that can outspeed Isaiah's scary fat.
Yeah, and they can slap back hard because Lopunny's got okay defenses, but it's not surviving too many super effective or just oppressively powerful stab hits that are not resisted.
Right. I've had Lop, and I've been happy with the bulk, but if you take a super effective hit, don't expect to live it.
No, you're usually not. You're usually going to die.
You can usually take a neutral hit or two, as long as it's not like a Darmanitan or some crazy stuff.
Something just oppressively powerful.
And I didn't realize that Isaiah's the only Pokemon from the new gen is Dragapult. So interesting.
Yeah,
I want to like take note of that. Who has like new tech on
their team. New things to try on. We'll see how they operate within the rules of previous generations. Right. So any hot take for who you think's going to win this one?
I hate to do this.
Here comes a divide between friends.
But I always do this. Raul is free to prove me wrong anytime. But I think Isaiah is very excited for the season, and he is very excited with the picks he got.
Oh, yeah.
And I think he end up getting Raul on one turn. Raul's going to do something he shouldn't do, and Isaiah might be able to capitalize on it. So I see Isaiah winning. And it might come down to one or two misplays that just decide the whole game.
Yeah, and who knows? This could be a breakout season for Raul. He might have gotten out of that funk he had in a previous season. So,
yeah, absolutely. I mean, Raul's excited for the season too, from what I can tell. So maybe he shows up this season and does some work. I think these two should be viewed as rivals. I think they're perfect rivals for each other.
Besides just being friends and familiar with each other, they're definitely
Yeah, they've just had a nice matchup constantly. Last season they both had to play each other, in the last off season. They had to play each other in the final week to get playoff entry. Perfect for them. So I think if there's any match that should be streamed, I'm putting my vote up for that one.
This will be one to watch in that first week. It'll be a bitter rivalry. So, all right, next up, your own battle, the Victory Road Victini versus the Pallet Town Dunsparce.
Right.
How are you feeling?
Our match.
Chris in the past has shown that he can be a formidable opponent, and looking at his team, he has a very powerful Steel Dragon Fairy core at the top with also some bird spam and other things on that team. He's got a Dracovish counter if he needed it. But he doesn't need it this week.
He'll need it several weeks to come, so I think it was a good pickup for him.
Yeah, that
I mean, I definitely think Chris is a really good and he knows what he's doing in the battle. I'm not in love with his team personally. I think there's some redundancy, and I know some of it is because
there was only one random pick, and some he was a little bit rushed since he was not with the rest of the group for draft day. But
right, but I mean, he's pretty decent. His scarf tiers are iffy. I see like Haircross to Hydreigon.
Yeah, those
Haircross, Rotom Heat, Hydreigon.
Those are probably the most likely scarfers. Maybe Rotom Heat.
Yeah,
but I mean, against your team, Scarf Rotom Heat doesn't really do too much since you've got a lot of things that don't really care about his like volt switches or overheats.
Right. So I don't necessarily. I just think for the future as a whole. I mean, he's got Kadabra and Hawlucha as his options above.
Yeah, the real fast ones.
And they don't want to hold a Scarf.
No.
So, I mean, Hydreigon's probably the best Scarfer on his team. Hydreigon is also just monstrous with Nasty Plot.
Oh, yes.
Even has
Dragon Dance. Yeah, it's got variability now with that Gen 8 tech.
So we'll see what he pulls off with Mega Scizor and Hydreigon. Those are the big scary boys. Heracross can be scary too.
Yeah, Heracross is one of those ones with that Moxie. If you get a Choice Scarf and it gets rolling, it's hard to stop that train.
absolutely is a problem. He also has Shell Smash Blastoise.
Oh yeah,
Smash
Toys.
As
it's
we
Smash
like
Toys
to call
Light
it.
though, because it's not Mega Smash Toys.
Smash Toys Light, half the calories.
And I mean, your team is nothing to sniff at. We've done some scrimmage matches, and I've seen some stuff on your team. You've got that big beef, Mama Beef, with that Mega Auto. Yeah. She takes those hits all day long.
Yeah, we'll give a little sample that is Mama
Beef.
Beef.
You've also got Corviknight, really who's a good wall that we've seen in Gen 8 metas, as well as just in general. Right. It's decent stats, decent type. And then some fun things. If that boy might be AV, you got that Crocodile. That boy AV.
I do got that boy AV. If only if I didn't love the Hamburglar name so much, he would be that boy AV this season. That would be his name. I also really like Toad. And I'm very interested to see what Toad
Dracovish counter when you do eventually need it.
He is a Dracovish counter, but he is kind of like the Ferrothorn I talked about earlier, where if Cheryl predicted it a couple times, he'd be in some.
Oh yeah.
So he's not the best counter in the world, but I do really like Seismitoad for his versatility and the things he can do. So I'm excited to use him.
Agency.
Oh, absolutely. Shout out to the agency.
But you also have that sleeper bulk and things like Victini. With all those 100s, it's notorious for taking hits better than people think.
Hey, I mean, we did the stats before, and I believe I have the 4th bulkiest team. Yeah. Which, I mean, it's not bad. I'm pretty middling in everything. I've got middling speed. I've got middling bulk. That's kind of just my style. It's very balanced. And I can kind of do what I want week to week.
Yeah, nothing too insane. But yeah, you've definitely got, and then you got Whimsicott if you wanna get real tricky and mess around. You've got
love Whimsicott.
You've got a Breloom if you got some priority you want to mess around. You can put people to sleep, sub on them, leech on them, toxic heal. You can do weird sets.
Yeah. Oh, I could absolutely be a troll with Breloom. And another point to make about Chris's team is he does not have a grass type.
This is true, and no grass immunities either with Sap Sipper or anything like that.
Right. So might be a little bit of a problem for him in weeks to come that he doesn't have a grass type. It might
unless he does make an exchange after week 1. People will be allowed to make trades or free agent changes, so he might be able to patch some holes in his team after this first week, see where the problems lie, see where he can improve on it. But
and I'm not huge on making trades this early. I know some people are already off trades. Give them a shot.
Yeah, people wanted to make trades immediately, like minutes after the draft. You're like, okay, this Pokemon's up for trade. I don't want it.
Yeah, like there are Pokemon that I'm apprehensive about on my team, but I'm gonna give them a shot before I offer them up. Yeah. Another thing about this matchup that I always hate when it happens is that my Haxorus is naturally sped crept by his.
Oh yeah, quite literally 1 point faster with Hydreigon. It's what 97 and 98.
Yes, 97 and 98. Every time I get that, I just get so frustrated. There was one,
but that is one thing that it does force them to go with a speed boosting nature.
Oh, absolutely.
Every time.
I mean, if you're within like 15 base points, you force that nature out of them.
Yeah. Because especially like with Hydreigon versus Haxorus, they're both dragon types. They can both easily one-shot the other one with a stab dragon move. So the one that has the natural speed creep, just out of caution, has to make sure they have that full speed. Just to make sure if that face-off does happen, they know they're faster. They know they can get that kill in before the other one can. So.
And I feel like the match between Chris and I will start a little slow, feeling each other out, seeing what sets each other has, and then it will evolve.
Yeah, kind of a lot of poking. He does. I mean, both of you have some ways to like U-turn or volt switch, kind of bounce your team around, let things happen, kind of get a feel for the field, see how it's looking for the matchup.
And we both have Pokemon that can do a lot of, like, have a fair amount of variability. You know, I don't know what that Hydreigon's going to do until I see what it's attacking with. I don't know if this Blastoise is just going to be defensive or if he's bringing shells.
If he's going to smash. He may just Hulk smash.
So Right. And then there are things like, for me, you never know what Victini said.
No, Victini.
It's always different.
And Victini has so much coverage that you really got to know what he's got. Otherwise, you can get caught off guard and taken down.
Absolutely.
So
and sometimes he doesn't even need the coverage.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just
sometimes that's all you do. You just hit VCreate and watch things start dying.
Yeah, I love it.
So, do you have a hot take for your battle? Are you confident?
I almost feel like I shouldn't comment on it because obviously it's biased. I'm saying I'm winning.
There you go.
I'm never gonna say I'm losing.
You got to go in hot. You got to go in ready.
I'd like to start off the season with 1-0. So that's my hot take. I think I can win.
All right, well, we'll see.
What is your hot take? You're putting me in the seat. What's your hot take?
My hot take? I mean, I've faced your team. I've built scrim teams with his team. It's I think it's a pretty even matchup. Yeah. Hey, no, we're not sponsored by them yet. But if we get any offers for sponsorships, send me product. I will test your product. I will sponsor it I will go with that sponsorship if we like the product.
Right.
Offering that out to the internet in general. Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, I've seen the teams. I think they're pretty evenly matched. I think a lot of it comes down to if teams are able to break the walls, or if somebody's able to just kind of get that edge, either get a setup going or just kind of get one, like a little bit of an edge over the other. I think it could be one of those matches that's kind of slow until somebody can just turn the tables just enough to knock the other person over and just bowl through. So I think it'll be an interesting match to watch.
I agree with that completely. That's like exactly how as well, which is really slow stuff. Things started falling.
Yeah, and then until somebody maybe figures out what the correct move will be to gain that advantage to finally finish off the opposition.
Right. And Chris loves a prediction.
Oh yeah.
So I gotta be careful.
He does. We'll see how it goes. That'll be a battle to watch. So next up we have the Sneasels versus the Dracovish, a team known for being pretty good and a team that had a pretty rough season in the last one, to put it lightly.
I mean, yeah. I think Greg might be learning from some of the mistakes he's had.
Hopefully.
Hopefully, his Mega Houndoom, the Mega button should be pretty easy to click. I just had to throw that meme out there one time. I won't give it to him for the rest of the season.
But Mega Houndoom takes a little bit more effort than Megalopony. I will say Megalopony, as I called it when we were at that spot earlier, was press attacks to win. Because with Scrappy, you click whichever you think is going to do more damage to literally anything on the opposing team. Is it going to be high jump kick? Is it going to be return? You pick one.
Right. Like the saying is it can click buttons.
Yeah.
It has no pressure. It can just attack, and then whatever response you see, you can probably just attack again. Like there's no downside.
Unless the thing that comes out like will guaranteed outspeed or guaranteed take the hit and easily Okos in return, something like that. Otherwise, you just attack and you probably hit KO things.
Correct. But that first attack, it's really hard for something to switch in and take the hit and then so it's pretty free when you get it in and you start smacking things.
So yeah, Mega Houndoom takes a little bit more effort than that, but it's still if it gets I think it gets nasty plot. Like if it gets a nasty plot off, it's hitting pretty hard and it's got some pretty decent speed. 105 I think. So it's not too slow.
115. I will say 115 is Greg's fastest mon, and it's his Mega.
This is
which
true.
Which means that is like its top speed. It can't Scarf.
I mean,
so a Scarf Jirachi is the fastest Pokemon he's got.
Pretty much, yeah.
On the roster.
I mean, but he's also got extreme speed out of his guys. Zygarde. He's got priority out of Lucario with I think Mach Punch, Bullet Punch, and Vacuum Wave, and extreme speed.
You have to say and extreme speed.
So he's got priority around there if he needs it.
And I do value the priority, so I do like that on his team. One of the things we touched on Greg's team is that his speed or his team's speed is not very versatile.
No, it's all either pretty slow or middling.
It's all very middling. Like I can go down the list right now. It's just from Jirachi to Togekiss it's 100, 95, 95, 91, 90, 86, 85, 80. That's
nothing crazy.
80% of his roster is between 100 and 80. Mm-hmm. So if something's faster than 100, it outspeeds his
So it's going to mean
if something's
requiring a lot of choice scarfs to break into that elite speed tier that we really look for with things like something on the Sneasel's team like Tapu Koko, who has that elite speed of 130 plus.
Yeah, 130 is you are elite speed.
Yeah, that's where you've reached a point where there's very little that's going to outspeed you without a scarf.
Right. And Evan's team has a much better, I guess, a better range, but the spread is still a little close together. He's got.
I mean, his range goes all the way from 130 down to, I believe, 30 is Appleton.
Yeah, Appleton's 30.
So he's got a whole 100 points between the top and the bottom of his speed tier.
Yeah. Like I said, the range is good. In the middle, he's still got a fair amount of mines that are in close tiers.
Well, then he's also got priority too in Aegislash with Shadow Sneak. He's got Prankster with Prankster and Sucker Punch with Grimmsnarl. He's got Sucker Punch with Doug Trio.
Doesn't Glalie get some priority or something?
I don't think so. Galissapod can run almost a full priority set with Sucker Punch, Aqua Jet, and First Impression. So like he's got priority on things that are slower or middling to kind of cover that. But so both of them do have that priority. So we could definitely, I think almost certainly will see some type of priority come out from both teams this week. But it just depends on
one thing
who
that
will
I noticed
have the better priority to deal with the different threats.
One thing that I noticed about Evan's team this time around is, I mean, I guess the statement isn't totally true because but he doesn't have a Pokemon that wants to just sit in your face and recover in your face like he's had in last seasons.
True.
I'm pretty sure he's had Melodic like 2 or 3 seasons, and then he had Porygon. I feel like that's a staple in Evan's playstyle. It grants him,
because I think Appleton his only Pokemon with reliable recovery.
Yes.
I don't believe anybody else has. I mean, we might.
So
no, I don't think there's even. I mean, Aegislash might have Pain Split because he's a ghost.
We don't call that reliable.
Well, yeah, that's about it's not the only other recovery he has outside of Appleton.
Yeah, so like, and he's already started posting that he is willing to trade Appleton. Yeah. So it seems like he doesn't even plan on using it much.
Apple Boy.
So Evan is going all in on hyper offense. It seems.
I mean, definitely you have Aegislash as a setup. Tapu Koko likes to turn or sometimes just slam down huge thunderbolts in its terrain. Even though slightly nerfed.
Although Thunderbolt's,
slightly
not as huge anymore. Yeah. I haven't done the calc, but I feel like
I think someone did the calc. It's what, like Jolteon's like 17% weaker than it now.
Oh, I'm not doing that calc. I'm thinking of I'm thinking of
what was it? What's value?
Especially defensive Vaporeon might be able to take 2 Thunderbolts from a Tapu Koko.
I mean, with that really big, 130 HP, it takes a lot of hits.
Yeah. It's something like it's wild. And I know before nerf.
Yeah. Koko in terrain.
A Specs Koko in terrain could okay.
Oh, I'm sure.
I knew that much.
50% on top of 50%. That's a big boost.
It's a huge. And I just don't. I'm very interested to see what Tapu Koko feels like this season, if we can really feel that drop. So yeah, I'm looking at calc right now. Now Specs Koko does like 80%. So but without Specs,
we'll see how much of a thing that is in this matchup, because there are 2 ground types with an immunity to Koko and a Tangela who will eat it up because it's Tangela. It's grass, and also
absolutely
he's an adorable little pile of noodles. He'll just take those attacks.
I'm just impressed at how much that damage, because looks like a Thunderbolt from a Tapu Koko without any item that's boosting his is not really going to be able to. I mean, it might be able to 2-hit KO. It's close. It's a roll. So I mean, it's pretty impressive how much that's dropped him,
because it went from 50% to 30% in terrain boost. So
anyway,
20% drop.
So another thing about Evan's team is I feel like his Mega Glalie pick was I don't like. It was I don't like megas.
Yeah, he has said he does not like megas.
I don't like megas. I'm gonna take a tier 3 that I'm gonna bring like maybe once or twice, and I'm gonna cash in on the other points. Which it seems like he did. He's got Aegis and Tapu Koko,
and Grimmsnarl, which was a high pick too.
Yeah, and Grim. I don't understand how first Aegis dropping to 8 was surprising. Then Tapu Koko going in the 3rd round was shocking to me.
When there's so many, when there's fewer teams than usual, some things just don't leave the table fast enough. People feel like they can wait a little bit longer to get them. And in this case,
I just don't know how you could say you can wait until the 3rd round for Tapu Koko.
I mean, terrain also did not seem to be as high of a priority this season as past seasons. So Tapu Koko and Tapu Bulu both fell relatively late in the draft compared to where they usually would be picked up,
which is really impressive to me because I feel like terrains are very strong. If you can, I mean
they are.
Electric terrain is really just, if we're being honest, electric terrain is just we're not really. It's very niche to bring electric terrain to stop like a sleep or something.
Yes, it can be used, but very rarely, especially in. We don't have too much sleep. We only have one real spore user this season with Breloom, I think. We don't have
Noah
Mungus. We don't have Shiinotic. Who else likes to use spore? No one took Smeargle.
Noah Mungus. We're not gonna have Shiinotic.
Well, yeah, but like so, no one took Smeargle, who is often running sets kind of like that with either Sweet Kiss or Spore. It's like we don't have
and like,
a lot of sleep going on.
I don't think anyone has a Snorlax either, right?
No, there was
one that actually wants to go to sleep.
Oh, no Snorlax.
Things like that. So it's iffy. But touching back on the Mega Glalie thing, the point I was leading into was this actually might be the one match he wants to bring Mega Glalie.
Oh yeah, you've got Landorus, you've got Togekiss, you've got Zygarde, you've got Rotom. Yeah, Rotom fan. You've got Tangela. All of them do not like big ice.
And like he's got a couple resistances, but I mean he's got Jirachi that can come in, which is fine.
Come in and threaten
every once in a while. Lucario can come in, but Lucario's pretty frail,
and it can threaten back.
Houndoom is pretty frail. If he's got rocks up, Houndoom's not gonna want to come in.
Yeah, no. It'll be interesting to see this match.
He also gets freeze dry, I'm pretty sure, for Vaporeon.
Yep. But, of course, we also have things on the Dracovish team of Jirachi, known for its Flinch Axe ability, as well as Togekiss, or Togekiss, depending on who you ask, who can also Flinch Axe. So if things are feeling really gross, he could just rely on that Scarf Flinch Axe.
Just going to wait for him to Scarf both of them.
I mean, it's disgusting, but it is an option on the team. And we have seen in the past that if you get flinched 6-7 times in a row, that can definitely swing a battle in your favor very quickly.
And it'll really piss off your opponent.
Absolutely.
I know one time I just tried to basically sack my Togekiss, so I was like, I'll just air slash for some chip, and I flinched him like 3 times. I flinched him like 3 times and ended up picking up the KO instead of just sacking it off like I planned to do, and he was very upset about it.
Which Serene Grace Flinch Axe is definitely a beast to deal with. But I believe that Evan, he did have Jirachi before, and he did not abuse that too often. I think he used it once or twice, and it was a last-ditch effort of, I'm going to lose if I can't kill this Pokemon. So he just kind of brought out Jirachi and just did its thing.
He only did it a couple times when it was required of him.
But yeah, this match, I mean, just based off of previous records, it looks like it is heavily in the Sneasel's favor, but the Dracovish do have some pretty solid stuff, like some really hot picks. So like Landorus and Zygarde are always, they can be very dominating in a match. Jirachi can dominate as well. And if you get really lucky, Articuno can just freeze your team and bury you. So
Raul knows about that. Shout out Raul.
Yeah, he knows all about it.
I actually do like Articuno now that he can wear boots. I'm very interested in seeing how viable he is as a tier 5.
And we did not get Moltres picked up. this season.
No one wanted it, apparently.
And we even even tiered it higher because of heavy duty boots.
Right. And that is probably what led to people not taking it, is because it was too high. But to back on your point about, like, I do think Zygarde and Landorus are really strong Pokemon that can control a match. Mm-hmm. But you are facing a Mega Glalie.
Yes, who can just
tough.
Well, especially with things like you can just with its Glaciate is its ability. You can just throw down like body slams, where things that come in, sure, even if it doesn't.
No, it's refrigerate.
Or refrigerate, right? Things that come in, even if it doesn't kill them, there is that chance you're going to paralyze them. So you can just
the body slam.
Yeah, they're big. Or he can just blow himself up. You can have that. What would it end up being, like 360 base power with stab?
How much is it boosted by? 20%. 20%.
So 360 base power plus stab.
What's explosion? 250?
No, explosion is 300. Self-destruct is 250.
I thought explosion was 250.
Or maybe I have it backwards. One of them's 300, one of them's 250. But still, you're looking at a 300 plus stab move.
Explosion's 250.
Okay, so then self-destruct must be 300. But still,
self-destruct is 200.
Well, I was wrong. But still,
I just had to make sure you said you were
looking
wrong.
at looking at big fat stab damage.
So yeah, I mean that's stupid.
That'll probably kill pretty much anything on his team other than maybe Vaporeon and Jirachi, depending on how they're built.
But I feel like Glalie, if Glalie is brought, it's a Pokemon that's going to want to stay. To kind of, we have kind of dwelled on this match.
Yeah.
To kind of wrap up my thoughts, I think it is foolish to bet against Evan, especially early in the weeks when people are still feeling out their teams.
Yeah, kind of learning where they are with their own team and how comfortable they are with what they've picked.
So I do think Evan will win, but I am very interested in
how it goes down.
Evan's place. Yeah.
Because it could go different ways.
I don't really like Doug Trio. I don't like personally.
Yeah, that Arena Trap revenge killing.
I mean,
it was banned out.
Have Arena Trap revenge killing of grounded Pokemon,
which I guess isn't too much of a thing with the Dracovish.
Yeah.
Not many boys on the ground.
So yeah,
it'll be an interesting.
So like, you're not trapping Zygarde, you're not trapping Togekiss.
Yeah, no.
Not that those are ones you'd want to trap anyway. If you want to trap something like,
you're not trapping Rotom, Levitate and Flying type. You're not catching that boy at all.
And you can, and I mean, there is value in just having it on your team and forcing people to have a shed shell,
just to make sure they can get away.
Right. So I mean, I see the value in it, but a tier 2 pick is high for me. I want to see how it works. Yep. Dubwool is when I think we should.
Don't sleep on Dubwool. And we'll see what Blaziken can do.
Absolutely. I know what Blaziken can do. I don't feel so threatened by that thing. It's the Dubwool. It's gonna. People
are gonna sleep on Dubwool, and it's gonna bite somebody in the ass for sure this season. But
so yeah, that's that.
We'll see how week 1 goes for those teams. And on to the final match of the week. It is the Togepi versus the Zeds. So a new team versus a champion.
Yes, a lovely matchup.
Yes, this will be another a grudge match. This is definitely between two people who are close, one could say.
Yeah, I would say they're close. And it's a matchup of the lowest speed in our league versus what is almost a tie for the fastest speed in the league.
Well, especially after some assistance with things like Unburden. There is the Togepi do have quite a bit of speed on their side of the court.
It's so much speed. And looking at...
And I mean, also some dangerous setup. So Manaphy, if it can get its Tail Glow or 2 Tail Glow off, we have seen in past seasons that thing can just go to town and wipe out teams that are not prepared for it. You've also got Kartana and Nihilego, who both of them, they can just scarf and just, if they can pick up that first kill, they can just keep cutting through a team.
I kind of love that she has Kartana and Nihilego, because they're almost like opposites.
They are.
Like Kartana has no special, and he's got that fire type 4 times weakness. And Nihilego has no physical
and
defense,
has that big ground weakness. Yep. So they are kind of polar opposites.
It's pretty. I like them on the same team.
It'll be interesting to see how she uses them.
One thing I'm noticing right now is Zeshe will have a lot of difficulty outspeeding a Mega Alakazam.
Yeah. I don't think a lot of difficulty is wording it correctly. I don't think anything on his team can outspeed it.
I think a Komodo at +1.
Will it?
Will it? 80. I can do it while we
I would say check that calc, because otherwise, what is Mega Alakazam's 150 speed?
150.
Yeah, that boy is zooming.
I think I talked to Lauren about this, and I'm sure she's had conversations with other people about it as well.
Of course.
But to just look for that base speed that's going to outspeed you with the Scarf.
Yeah.
And I know for Mega Lop, when I had it, it was like 70 something.
Yes, so I guess it could be somewhere in that like 85 range.
85 is like exactly what you need. 85 at +1 is exactly what you need to outspeed Mega.
Kamo it has a chance if he can get a +1, but that +1 cannot come from an Omni Boost since those are banned. So there will no Clanging Souls.
He does have Dragon Dance and Autotomize or Automatize.
Yes, the correct way, Automatize.
His coin, yeah. But yeah, I mean, without setup, Lauren's got a really fast Pokemon that can just smack things.
And then she also has Scarfs that, I mean, if Kartana or Nihilego, or Nihilego, however you want to call it,
right?
If they are Scarfed, they easily outspeed the entirety of the Zeds.
Yeah, I mean, the entirety of the Zeds, even with speed boost.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like Swoobat's there, but I mean,
it's Swoobat. We'll see what the Simple Boy does.
Pulls off.
But then again, it doesn't always just come down to speed, as we see with the Zeds. It is bulky. There is the thickness, especially with the grassy terrain. That definitely helps out Heatran a whole lot, because it halves the damage of its 4 times damage.
The 3 Pokemon that just bother me, maybe 4. It was like Heatran, Mega Venusaur,
Bulu, and Milotic. Oh yeah,
and Milotic.
That is a disgusting core. That is probably the toughest fire, water, grass core to break through.
It's just
like,
so dumb.
There's very little you can like. They all cover each other's bases perfectly. So like if they want to use Flying or Psychic into the Mega Venusaur, they've got a Heatran that can just pop up right in front of their face. If you want to go with Electric or grass, you got to go through Mega Venusaur or Heatran, because it's got solid defenses on either side and resist some of it. But it's
just like his team is forcing you to make predictions to win.
Mm-hmm. And also it's one of those teams where with grassy terrain and also Levitate and Flying type, you can't just spam Earthquakes or anything, because they're either going to be resisted, or they're either going to be weakened because of the terrain, or just totally immune because of things not touching the ground. And then also something with Porygon 2, it just eats attacks. There's very little you can do if you can't knock it off.
Right. This team just screams that he's punishing people that play safe.
Yeah.
If you don't like to make predictions, you're gonna have a face. He's gonna make you gotta make a prediction to break this.
Yeah, you're gonna be playing his game at his speed, and his speed is set to slow.
Yeah, and he's got. I mean, all of these Pokemon have reliable recovery too. It's so dumb.
Synthesis. Well, not Heatran.
A lot of can recover. Yeah, I mean, not literally all of them, but he's got Milotic recovery, Mega Venusaur Synthesis, Mandibuzz Roost.
I mean, Bulu in its terrain can just Horn Leech or Synthesis, or Leech Seed.
It can Synthesis too. Porygon can recover, Avila can recover.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of it's gonna be hard to break through those walls.
Good lord, man.
But then with the Togepis, like, she's got wall breakers. She definitely has wall breakers, so it's
absolutely
she's got a team that's well matched to deal with the walls.
I would love like a Scarfed Adamant Kartana.
Because it can work.
Manaphy with Tail Glow.
Mm-hmm.
Manaphy with Tail. I mean, Mega Venusaur is not a switch into Manaphy.
Yep, Manaphy gets Psychic.
It's got Tail Glow Psychic.
That'll kill it.
That's a problem.
That'll definitely kill it.
And even if he makes that prediction and goes out into, Heatran, he's not gaining any momentum off of that.
Well,
so
and then it's also Manaphy can throw it on Surfs or Scalds, and with the tail glow, that's going to kill Heatran too.
That's exactly what I mean. Like, Heatran, just because Heatran came in and took that Psychic does not mean he is out of the woods.
You either have to make a prediction, or you just have to hope you survive the next attack.
So then it comes down to, and then you can go to Milotic, and then I think Manaphy gets Energy Ball. That after Tail Glow, I would expect does over half to Milotic, but I don't know. Maybe
I don't know. Milotic it's beefy. It likes to take a lot of hits.
So I don't envy Lauren in this matchup.
Yeah, no.
I think it will be tough
for sure,
and it is kind of like a trial by fire.
I mean,
her first match is against Sashay, who's got one of the grossest teams we've seen,
and
it might be
a championship record under his belt.
Yeah, he's got the championship record under his belt, which just it makes it even worse. To be honest, because even if he didn't, that's just such a fat.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot to deal with. We'll see how she manages for her trial by fire in this first week of the PBL. So we definitely have some matches to watch. We've got a lot of speed. We've got a lot of just things to watch.
Yeah, something I'm going to be keeping track of throughout the season is seeing the win rates of teams that had the better speed matchup. I want to see
if speed really is a key to victory.
Yeah, I want to see in live data how much speed has affected victory. And I think Sashay, his team might just throw a spanner in the works.
Oh, I'm sure. Because we've seen Mega Venusaur in the past. 2 full seasons ago, it got MVP because it does really well. It's hard to kill it, especially with thick fat. Yeah. You really have to rely on just whittling it down or finding a way to squeeze in a flying or psychic move to just power through it.
It's just a fantastic mod.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And it's a shame that Mega Blastoise finally got love, and it was too much.
Yeah, it was, that's Shell Smash on Mega Blastoise is just oppressively powerful. It can be one of those things you just hold it on until you get one turn to set up a Shell Smash, and the game's over. Yeah, that's all it needs is you make one good prediction, or you survive a hit because you've got the right bulk, and then that's the game.
Yeah. So I'm happy with Smash Toys Lite.
Yeah.
I am not happy with that Smash Toys.
We will see how they go, but that's the discussion for the first week. We'll have something similar in our following weeks of the PBN on Sundays. But what we're going to try and do during the week is I'm going to try and do a live stream of 2 battles at least. And if they're spread out really far, so maybe if we've got like a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, maybe we'll try and do one each evening and do a stream each one, but at least 2. And then Sunday will be the PBN, Pokemon Battle Network, to cover all of the battles and kind of wrap up how the week went. Look forward to the next week. Talk about any trades in future weeks when those are allowed to happen. Actually, we'll be able to have them after this first week, so because roster changes will have to be official by PBN time.
Right, that'd be a good deadline. And I do think we should have like one match per week that is set that we are going
to stream for certain.
Yeah. So then everyone has a chance to be represented on stream.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be really cool.
And we'll try and if they have the time, we'll try and interview our coaches after the matches. So whoever is available, we'll probably prefer to interview the winner, see what their thoughts were. But who knows?
Losers don't get interviewed.
You don't get fame for losing. If you ain't first, you're last. Keep that in mind, guys.
First to lose.
Yeah. So we will see. We will try and announce those as soon as we know exactly which matches will go up. I'll try and for future weeks we'll try and call them out specifically and announce them on PBN, see what our featured matches are. But some of it will come up to scheduling, and that usually doesn't start happening until Monday or Tuesday. So we'll see on those, but it'll be an interesting first week. We've got some interesting matchups. We're going to have the Weather War. We have a brand new person and a champion. We've got good records versus poor records. We got stuff all over the board. We got friends versus friends.
I mean, technically, Greg is a new person, right? This is his first actual season, as is Isaiah.
I guess this is true. They were new in the off season, so 3.5, which was not an official season. So we got a lot of new to official PBL seasons, but it'll be good to watch.
I'm looking forward to it.
Keep an eye on the Twitter account, or if you're actually in the league and paying attention, pay attention to the announcements, because they will go up and tell you what's going on with the streams, as well as if there's any changes that need to happen throughout the season, or if there's any delays, or if there's any bye weeks that come up out of surprise. You will be informed and you will be told. So I think that's where we're going to call it for PBN tonight. Thank you for the people who were in the chat and talking. Thank you for your support. I think what we're going to do is we're going to play it out. Time for the outro theme.
Adios.